What is up, everyone? It's Wacka. Welcome back for the next week of the WPF, week 6, I believe. We're going against Twych, coach of the Russia's No Retreat. His team, if I guess you guys can kind of see it, is Mega Beedrill, Heatran, Salamence, Celebi, Empoleon, Runerigus, Hoopa Confined, Toxtricity, Diancie, Pangoro, and Zweilous. His team is pretty offensively scary, and he doesn't have much that I can like switch into freely without taking like quite a hit. I think his like freest mon is probably the Diancie or the Celebi, probably. Maybe even Empoleon or Heatran to some extent, but like his team hits really hard. So we have to play pretty fast and aggressive this week because his team is slow, but it does really hit hard. So the team that we will be bringing is Mega Garchomp, Scolipede, Tangrowth, Alcremie, Scrafty, and Metagross. The reason I bring Metagross is more like that he is the kill leader of the season right now, so I'm like, well, I might as well bring it. If it dies once, it shouldn't matter too much, but if it also gets a kill, then it could stay the kill leader. It's pretty close right now to stuff like Galarian Darmanitan and I think like the Mega Aerodactyl or something. I don't know, there's some Mega. I think it's like Zamazenta or something like that. But the fact that this Metagross, like this random tier 3 mon, can like keep up with all these scary threats going around, just I don't even know how. It just gets kills for like no reason. I don't even really run like that aggressive of sets. I really just run like moves. But anyway, getting into the team. I was looking at his team and I noticed that his team kind of loses to Mega Garchomp. So the idea here is if I can bring in Scolipede and get the Protect Baton Pass to pass some speed into the Garchomp, and then Garchomp gets like a Swords Dance up if I can. I don't know if I'll even really be able to, but even if I can just get Garchomp in, it'll be so good just to like get the thing in. And the thought process is that Garchomp pretty much threatens his entire team. That his entire team pretty much gets two-shot by Garchomp, if not just straight up one-shot. So he's probably gonna run a berry. I was thinking he might actually run like Shuka Berry and Empoleon, which is something that kind of scares me because I don't really have the best Empoleon switch in. My best answer is probably Scrafty, maybe Metagross. I think Empoleon gets like knockoff, but it also just hits pretty hard with like the Surf. And I don't really handle bulky water types very well. I mean, Alcremie does, but also because Empoleon's like steel type, Giga Drain won't be super effective or hit very hard. And then Alcremie isn't like the bulkiest thing ever. So yeah, I figured that between Garchomp and Scolipede, I have a lot of offensive pressure. Because I'm pretty sure Scolipede also kind of wrecks most of this team. Yeah, it kind of seems like it, except Runerigus. And basically my answer to Runerigus is this Rocky Helmet Tangrowth set. Runerigus is pretty like physical on the attack side. And I figured I really need to get that thing gone, because if that thing sets up toxic spikes, that could be a big holy crap for our team, because my only answer to toxic spikes is to bring in Scolipede, and then if something else gets toxic, I have to aromatherapy with Alcremie, and that's just something I don't want to really depend on too much. I could maybe fit Torn on this team if I really wanted to, but I also think it's probably best if I have at least like some defensive switch-ins with Alcremie and Scrafty. So yeah. My idea here is that he's probably gonna go Heatran, or like, what is his answer to Tangrowth actually? He might go like Diancie, Pangoro. I'd probably Celebi now that I think about it. But so I have a way to like hit all of his switch-ins with Tangrowth. Probably starting off with like knockoffs, and then once I figure out what his switch-in is, I'm probably just gonna start clicking Earthquake because his team really hates Earthquake. Except for probably like Celebi and Runerigus, and Runerigus doesn't want to stay in on Tangrowth anyways, as it really can't do too much, and then Runerigus probably like 2 or 3 shots with Giga Drain, plus throw a generator, so yeah. Now the thought behind this Alcremie is that it's a good switch into this Pangoro. I'm pretty sure Kevia Berry is meant for... It must be poison types. I just noticed that the weakness berries have like the same colors like their typing. It's like Shuka for ground, Kevia for poison. I didn't actually know that until just now. But yeah, Dazzling Gleam and Psyshock should be enough coverage. Along with the Modest Nature, I'm pretty sure to KO Pangoro or Salamence, I think. I don't remember. Or in general, just to like hit hard. Oh, you know what? A Psyshock was meant to one-shot Beedrill if it came in. And I'm pretty sure with the Poison Berry, I take a hit from Beedrill too. And then if Alcremie doesn't work, I have basically this Scrafty will take pretty much any hit from Beedrill. I might have to mess around with the EVs a little bit more because I'm pretty sure when I was calcing Jolly Mega Beedrill, but the Beedrill doesn't have to run Jolly, and he can pretty safely run Adamant with some HP investments. And the reason why I have Foul Play on Scrafty is because just looking at his team, a lot of his team has like a higher attack stat than Scrafty, and Foul Plays can be hitting really hard. And he also doesn't want to bring in Empoleon on this thing because I'm pretty sure Empoleon has Defiant, right? Is it Defiant or Justified? I think it's Defiant. Never mind. I was thinking like, oh, you click Dark Move, he gets attack boost. I think he has Defiant, which means he'd have to predict like a Scrafty switch-in. But even then, I'm not too scared of Empoleon because I just click Drain Punch on it, honestly. And then we got Metagross, so I can set up some rocks on his side because I'm pretty sure rocks will pretty much wear down his team pretty well. I think this match is gonna have a lot of switching, and in general, having rocks up ensures that I get KOs on stuff with the Garchomp. Because Garchomp, while it does hit hard, I do have to run Jolly rather than Adamant. So it's going to be nice to get the extra chip on some of the stuff, and as well as some of the extra support, because I think Garchomp will end up just sweeping the battle. With that, I'm pretty sure that is pretty much the matchup. I guess this, I should mention that Scrafty has Iron Head in case Diancie switches in, because I think looking at his team, his only Scrafty switch-in is probably Diancie or even Salamence. I could have probably put Ice Punch on this thing, but I decided that Foul Play is better for the Mega Beedrill. And besides, I have Ice Punch on Metagross, so it should be all good. But yeah, I will see you for the match when we face off Twitch. See you guys later. Alright, and we are back for the match. He brought the Mega Beedrill, the Empoleon, the Runerigus, Hoopa, Toxtricity, and Salamence. Now going into this match, I kind of thought that it would be good for I think Scolipede to come in. Scolipede 1v1s the Beedrill. It can 1v1 the Empoleon. Tangrowth is an easy switch into Runerigus. Mega Horn will kill the Hoopa, Earthquake will kill the Toxtricity, and I will outspeed and probably just Baton Pass into Alcremie if he were to go Salamence. So I believe I led the Scolipede, and he leads Empoleon. So here I just click Earthquake because I think he's going to be Shuka, and he ended up actually being Shuka max physical defense. From what I could see, he gets up his rocks, which is good for him because it means I can't really switch around too much. So I just keep clicking Earthquake because I figure if he goes into Salamence or Runerigus, I have a pretty easy switch in. So he actually goes Rune for whatever reason, so I'm like, well, yeah, but instead of Baton Passing, I decided to just switch because I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to have the -1 defense, and he misses the Wisp, while I miss the Sleep Powder on this Empoleon switch in, which I don't know why he went Empoleon, because it was pretty obvious I was going to probably Giga Drain or Knock Off, probably. So I go Metagross because I'm like, well, Metagross is pretty tanky and I don't really need Metagross this match. Metagross is more just like that last second option. So here he goes Beedrill, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to Earthquake into Bullet Punch if he stays in and Drill runs. But he U-turns, which is probably smart on him because he probably has seen that I've been running Shuka a lot. So I go Tangrowth, and this is a pretty easy switch in for me. I figure I might as well get an item off on something, so he goes to Toxtricity. I thought he would go Salamence, honestly. So him going Toxtricity probably lost him the game, actually. If he went Salamence, I would have had to switch right into Alcremie, and then in which case he might think he's safe to go in somewhere else. So he does this. I don't know why he goes into Rune here. I guess because he wanted to get the Intimidate off, but like, it didn't matter. So yeah, now he has the Intimidate, although when he switches out, he'll have Wandering Spirit again. Now at this point, he's gotten some good chip off on Scrafty, and Scrafty really can't do too much in this match anymore. So I really have to play around that. So here, I believe I clicked EQ, thinking that he might go into something else, but he Wisps me. Somehow he's faster than me. Oh, and I Sleep Powder him. I think at this point he just sacks off the Runerigus. And I click Earthquake thinking like Toxtricity might come in. And then at this point I'm just trying to stall out his Trick Room. So yeah, and then at this point I'm like, well, Tangrowth kind of loses the rest of his Mon, so I'm just going to stay in and click Knock Off. I'll be slower than whatever it is. So I'll get the item off. If it wasn't Burn, that was going to kill the Hoopa. It would have been cool because then I wouldn't have had to worry about Hoopa, but at this point Garchomp just kind of comes in and kills pretty safely. I could have went the Scolipede, but I wasn't sure if Earthquake would kill. I figured it probably would, and then I didn't know if it would have speed investments or anything, so Garchomp was definitely the safest play. And here going to Alcremie because I think he has to Dragon Pulse if he wants to not die. So I predict the switch into either Beedrill or Toxtricity, and I click the Psyshock, and he wins. Or I beat the Beedrill. Then he goes Toxicity, and I'm like, well, I don't really need Scrappy anymore, and I need to kind of switch into something here, so I figured I might as well sack Scrafty. Um, Here I could have maybe just went Garchomp and won, but I thought um, I thought maybe he'd Volt Switch, predicting the Earthquake into Salamence, and then probably killing me off because he already wasted my Shuka Berry. So if the Salamence had EQ, then um, I could have probably won, but I should have probably known it didn't have EQ because it's running the Dragon Pulse, meaning that Salamence is special, which is actually good on him because special Salamence is actually pretty scary against my team. So yeah, and then he gets the crit overdrive. I don't actually know if it mattered. I want to say it did on that kill because I'm pretty sure I would have killed with the Earthquake that I clicked. So then I just send in Garchomp, and then just to be safe that like he doesn't Dragon Pulse crit me, I go into all creamy, and I'm just like, well, I'll probably take some hits. And here I'm like, well, now he's spamming Air Slash. I wanted to say he was Scarfed at this point, so I just decided to click Recover and try to stall out the Ments. Now here I was like, well, Alcremie should kill this thing, but he ends up, I think, critting me. I should have probably recovered, but I figured I was gonna get flinched either way. Like if I flinched and couldn't recover, then I was pretty screwed. So I figured Dazzling Gleam was the best play. I probably could have recovered again somewhere in there, but like, yeah, Alcremie goes down to the flinches and the crits. He actually got that last Air Slash crit. So I go into Garchomp, and he flinches me again. I swear to God, this thing is literally like Togekiss right now. Which is funny, because I was playing an OU match earlier with Jirachi, and I got 0 flinches out of like 12 Iron Heads. So it's just funny to me that this Mence got like 6 Air Slash crits, I think. I could have gone Scolipede just to protect Outspeed, and Mega Horn was going to kill, but I also didn't want to have to create the risk that Mega Horn was going to miss. And I figured if he wasn't Scarfed Mence, then Garchomp takes a Dragon Pulse, and then I can just crunch back and I win. So I figure Garchomp can get that last kill. So now Garchomp is up another 3 kills, Tangrowth has a kill, Alcremie got a kill, and Metagross got a kill. And I think Metagross is still sitting pretty with that kill leader. I think he's at 13 kills, and we'll go more into this in a different video. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next week, I believe we face Tark, whose team is actually pretty decent from what I remember. It's actually kind of scary if I remember correctly. But it's going to be a good match, I think. It's not going to be as scary as this one, I think, because this match, like, even though I think Mega Garchomp could have probably swept if given the chance, there was no way for me to really just set up, especially because he got that minus defense drop on the Scolipede. Otherwise, I could have just pretty much gone in and clicked Crunch, or Swords Dance, Crunch, you know, whatever. Yeah, good job, Twitch. I don't think we face off again, but hopefully next season we also have a really good match. It was really fun, and honestly kind of funny at the end, just how many flinches you got. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week for week 7. Oh, I'm probably gonna make a video on our, my opinion on our draft as of the mid-season. And that'll probably also go up pretty soon after that too. So yeah, see you later.